There are 10 beginner tips every player should know about SpaceCraft, things you probably missed on your first days. So play properly and listen to the 10 tips I wish I knew when I started playing SpaceCraft. There are some really important hotkeys you need to know in this game. If you want to move storage things out of your warehouses, then you can do this by right clicking and move instantly 10 units, or by pressing shift and moving the whole stack. On top you also can insert certain numbers if you want just to move this into your storage. While you're in your inventory, you also can pin items with right clicking onto them. Then you see they will be just stacked onto the top right side of the screen, and then you have an easy time to exactly know how many you have in your inventory. This is also possible with multiple things and is useful just to see it in a good overview, especially if you want to make a building and need certain materials for it. By pressing again onto it, it will just get removed. While flying through space, it can be hard sometimes to find the planets. If you're just pressing the right mouse button, you can actually rotate the camera in all angles you want, and this will be incredibly useful just to see always where are the planets you actually want to travel to. You can obviously use it also on the planets just to see where are the nodes you actually just scanned, and then you can easily make your progress. One of the best quality of life updates is getting the Cosmic Navigator in the game. This allows you then to set a route in space and saying I want to move from A to B, and it automatically calculates not only the route but also the fuel and indicates you also where to jump next. This just speeds up your routing and also the exploration parts. If you're exploring areas, the first time you travel somewhere costs always more fuel than when you're traveling on an explored route. This means you need to have always a bit more fuel if you go into areas where you weren't before, and can also pass the same length of jumps later with less fuel. And if you enjoyed the video, subscribe now to learn more about SpaceCraft. And you can also actually jump even without fuel, but then you will take damage on your ship. The white bars you see are indicating that your ship will not get damaged. Yellow ones means that you have like a 50-50 chance to get damaged or not, and red ones indicating guaranteed ship damage. So make sure that your ship doesn't get destroyed, because elsewise you can lose your inventory. If you have a look on the planets, then you also should always know that they are in order. The top resources are the most on the planet and the bottom ones the least. Like this you can get also always a quick overview which planets having actually access to which material the most. Once you're unlocking new progression levels, you will automatically also unlock new things you can craft and do. They are not always super visible indicated, so make sure also to check when you're unlocking new things the experience progression tab, because here you see basically level 1, 2, 3 in order from left to right, and you can here now check what exactly you got and what you can make now. This is pretty important because you want to make these things usually as soon as possible once you can. In the ship menu, you can also activate the Show Details HUD, which is also pretty interesting and especially useful if you actually want to redesign your ship or testing things out. There you can see, for example, the performance and also just what is exactly the details of your stats. In the laboratory, you can also queue things so that you don't have to stay there to wait for them to be done. On top, you can also use the laboratory tab to then claim the things from wherever you are. In my case, I have the quartz researched. Then I can just press here and getting here the experience without being at the lab at all. Building bases is also really important in the game, because they don't only come with a storage of 500 for free, but also offering you your private workshop and smelter without any fees, so you can also save monies easily. On top, they're also granting just by making optimized processing experience points, which are also needed just to make more improvements onto the experience progression. On top, you should make sure to have always enough energy on your production. If you're only exceeding this by 1, the complete chain will get slowed down by 50%, which is incredibly bad. Once you unlock the level 2 technology, then you also will be able to make a second base. Alongside with this, you also get the deconstruct tool, and with level 3 you can finally move things so that you can reshape also your base. Further, you can also use the bus travel to travel between bases easy, and this is rate based. That means if your inventory is really stacked, it's really expensive, and if you just empty this out, then it will get a lot cheaper. This can easily be used just to travel faster through really far apart bases. On top, assemblers can craft things which you can't craft on your own. So you should make sure that this is always producing something valuable, and using the smelters to make ingots, Also, micro furnaces can speed up the time by making ingots so that you can do something more valuable with your time. I can also recommend to make bases as close to each other as you can, because you will need to transfer material from A to B. If you make them like me really far apart, you will have kind of some pain with travels, especially early on. And the greatest thing, guys, this basis will also mine when you're offline, so this runs 24/7. That's why it's especially important to make also really full chains from ores to finished products, that you have also really a lot of value while you're actually sleeping, and then you can come back the next day and see that you just made a really big improvement. And you can even overload yourself on the ground base with material. You have like no limit. This can be really important just also to move things with huge stacks around, and you have no penalty for it. And if you enjoyed the video, check out my SpaceCraft playlist for more guides and builds.